In Australia, currently between 62 and 65% of people who are retired receive some form of pension from the Australian government. And in the US, it's around 90% receive some form of social security. So imagine one day if that just dried up. So that's what we're going to look at today. So stay tuned. G'day guys, hope you're well. Today I want to talk about a pretty scary subject that's going to affect millions and millions of people in Australia and also the US definitely. So let's pretend you're 70 years old and you're already retired, you're enjoying your retirement, and then suddenly, if you're in Australia, your pension stops, or in the US, your social security stops. So I know that sounds pretty hard to believe, but today we're going to talk about the top 10 reasons why that could actually happen in Australia and the US. The first major risk that both countries are going to have to deal with is a major shift in demographics.
Our first major risk is the demographic shift both countries are experiencing. In Australia, by 2050, the proportion of Australians aged 65 and over is expected to nearly double. This means more retirees relying on the age pension system. In the USA, the Social Security Administration projects that by 2035, the number of Americans 65 and older will increase from about 56 million today to over 78 million. This shift puts enormous pressure on the social security system. The risk here is clear. As the ratio of workers to retirees decreases, there's a growing imbalance between the paying into the system and those drawing benefits. This leads us to our next risk.
The second major risk, which the first one sort of leads to the second one, is there's going to be a big shortfall in the funding of both the Australian pension and the US social security systems.
Risk number 2 is the funding shortfalls. With more retirees and fewer workers, both countries face potential funding shortfalls. In the US, the Social Security Trust Fund projected to be depleted by 2034. After that, ongoing tax income will only be sufficient to pay around 78% of the scheduled benefits. In Australia, while the age pension is funded from general revenue rather than a specific trust fund, increased demand could strain the federal budget. This might lead to reduced benefits or stricter eligibility criteria. The risk for retirees is clear. The pension systems they're counting on may not be able to provide the level of support they're expecting in the coming decades.
The third major risk, as we get healthier and healthier, is an extended life expectancy for both Australia and the US.
Risk number 3, increased life expectancy. Living longer is generally great news, but it presents challenges for pension systems. In both Australia and the USA, life expectancy has been steadily increasing. In Australia, life expectancy at 65 is now 84 for men and 87 for women. In the US, it's 83 for men and 85.6 for women. This means pensions need to stretch further, covering more years of retirement. The risk of outliving one's savings increases. Government systems face longer periods of paying out benefits. For retirees, this longevity risk means carefully planning to ensure the retirement savings and government benefits can sustain them for potentially 20 to 30 years or more after retiring.
The fourth risk is expected economic volatility.
Risk number 4, economic volatility. Economic uncertainty poses significant risks to pension systems and retirees. Consider this. Economic downturns can reduce tax revenues, affecting governments' ability to fund pensions. Market volatility can impact the value of retirement savings, including superannuation in Australia and 401ks in the US. Periods of high inflation can erode the purchasing power of fixed pension payments. Recent events like the 2008 financial crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic have shown how quickly economic conditions can change. For retirees, this volatility can mean reduced government benefits if systems are strained, fluctuating returns on retirement investments, and challenges in maintaining their standards of living if inflation outpaces benefit increases.
The fifth risk is expected political and policy changes over time.
Risk number 5 is political and policy changes. Government pension systems are subject to political decisions and policy changes, creating uncertainty for retirees. In Australia, there has been ongoing debates about raising the pension age. Changes to the assets test have affected pension eligibility. In the US, proposals to reform Social Security are frequently discussed, including raising the full retirement age or adjusting the benefits calculation formula. Changes in government could lead to significant shifts in pension policies. The risk for retirees is that the rules they've based their retirement plans on could change, potentially reducing benefits or making it harder to qualify for them.
Risk number 6 is inadequate personal savings of both people in the US and in Australia.
Risk number 6, inadequate personal savings. While government pensions provide a safety net, they're generally not designed to be the sole source of retirement income. Inadequate personal savings pose a significant risk. In Australia, despite the superannuation system, many Australians still rely heavily on age pension. Women, in particular, often have lower super balances due to career breaks and lower average earnings. In the US, many Americans have insufficient savings in their 401k plans or IRAs. A significant portion of the population has no retirement savings at all outside of Social Security. The risk here is that retirees may find themselves with insufficient funds to maintain their desired lifestyle, especially if government benefits are reduced or eligibility is tightened.
Risk number 7 is increased healthcare costs from both countries as the population gets older.
Risk number 7 is healthcare costs. Rising healthcare costs pose a significant risk to retirees' financial security. In the US, Medicare doesn't cover all healthcare expenses and out-of-pocket costs can be substantial. Long-term care costs are a particular concern as they're not covered by Medicare. In Australia, while the public healthcare system provides significant coverage, there can still be out-of-pocket expenses. The ageing population is putting increased pressure on the healthcare system, which could lead to reduced services or increased costs for retirees. The risk is that escalating healthcare costs could consume a larger portion of retirees' income, potentially depleting their savings faster than anticipated.
Risk number 8 is changing family structures, increasing the divorce rate.
Risk number 8 is changing family structures. Evolving family structures can impact retirement security. Increased divorce rates amongst older adults can split retirement savings. More single-person households means less pooling of resources. Changing expectations around intergenerational support can affect retirees' financial situations. These shifts can leave some retirees more financially vulnerable, especially if they've been counting on family support or shared expenses in their retirement planning.
Risk number 9 is technological disruptions.
Number 9 is technical disruption. Rapid technological change poses risks to older workers and retirees. Automation and AI could displace older workers before they reach retirement age, affecting their ability to save. The digital divide might make it harder for some retirees to access services or manage their finances. Cyber threats could put retirees' savings at risk. For those nearing retirement, staying technologically literate and adaptable will be crucial to navigate these challenges.
And finally, risk number 10 is global financial shifts.
And the last one, number 10, global economic shifts. Finally, broader global economic shifts can impact pension systems and retirees. Changes in global trade patterns could affect national economies and tax revenues. Climate change might lead to increased government spending on disaster relief and infrastructure, potentially reducing funds available for pensions. International economic crisis could have ripple effects on pension fund investments and government budgets. These global factors add another layer of uncertainty to retirement planning and sustainability of pension systems. In conclusion, as we've seen, current and future retirees in both Australia and the United States face a complex set of risks over the next 30 years, from demographic shifts and funding shortfalls to economic volatility and rising healthcare costs. These challenges require careful consideration and proactive planning. However, it's not all doom and gloom. Understanding these risks is the first step in preparing for them. Here are a few key takeaways. Start planning early. As soon as you start preparing for retirement, the better position you'll be to face these risks. Number 2, diversify your retirement income. Don't rely solely on government pensions. Build up personal savings and explore other income streams. Number 3, stay informed. Keep up with policy changes and economic trends that might affect your retirement plans. Number 4, prioritise your health. Staying healthy can help mitigate some of the healthcare costs and risks. Number 5, be adaptable. Flexibility in your retirement plans can help you navigate unexpected changes. Remember, while these risks are significant, they're not insurmountable. With careful planning, informed decision making, and a proactive approach, you can work towards a secure and comfortable retirement. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful. Please hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up because it helps the channel. And if you know anyone that could benefit from watching it, please share the video. And I hope to see you in the next one.